I thought one of the most interesting things about building a thought leader's practice is there's heaps of contradictions. They're not problems to solve, but they're kind of like tensions that you hold. And the work of running a commercially smart thought leaders practice asks you to live in the middle between, commerce, making money, and contribution, making a difference, identity, like becoming everything you need to be, and service, being all you can for your clients. It's also got a creativity vibe and a consistency vibe. And all of this sort of comes together in a big paradoxical soup. So here are 5 paradoxes that I think are worth sort of explicating and making, really clear, so that as you make your journey, what you can do is keep all of these in mind. The first one we often teach is it's not about the money, and it's all about the money. So it's not about the money because what brings us to this work is meaning, impact, and contribution, and you can't fake that. The people who thrive here are driven by purpose, not just profit. And that's because it's a labor of love. But it's also about the money, because money is how the market tells you your message is landing. It's not greed, it's not avarice. It's actually a form of continuous feedback. So by being transparent about the commercial game, we stay kind of in right relationship with the market, kind of to borrow from the Buddhist concept of right speech. So we don't chase income for its own sake. We use it as a signal of value alignment. It becomes proof that our thinking creates value, and that impact and income, meaning and money, they're not rivals, that they actually work together in a beautiful synergistic relationship. Number 2, be original, but stay relevant. Every thought leader wants to be original, unique, and different. We want to say something new, and we want to stand apart from everybody out in the world. But originality and this distinction only proves itself if what you're delivering is relevant. You build a practice not by continual reinvention and pursuit of that, rare blue ocean air where no one's there, but you refine the clusters that you offer with feedback from the market. You might deliver the same keynote and teach the same model until it becomes almost art. And remember that delivery mastery is part of your uniqueness as well, because people are going to buy you, not just your ideas. And I really believe and have always said that we're in the experience business, not the idea business. And this is more true now than ever before. So in the thought leaders curriculum, we call this mastery. And there's a rhythm or a cadence to it, from pink sheet to cluster to delivery. Creativity isn't found in your novelty or in your new. It's often found in the depth and in the way you deliver your experiences. The third paradox that plays out is you've got to serve others and honor yourself. And we do this work to serve others, to lift others through our ideas, our expertise, and our presence. But service without a sense of boundary drains the mojo and the energy that makes running a practice possible. So to serve well, you've got to stay whole, and to give fully, you must stay full, right? So we need this sort of balancing together. And the paradox is that self-honoring isn't selfish in a practice. Your mojo is like the capital of your practice, like an investment of funding. And it's the foundation of sustainable generosity. If you're going to be running a generosity-based sort of content marketing strategy, you're going to need to have some self-reference first. And I think that conscious leaders give from a place of alignment and not depletion. And they know that to lead their market well, you've got to first of all lead yourself. The fourth paradox is this idea of slow down and go fast. Growth often looks like speed, like more publishing, more pitching, more delivery, more proposals. But the real acceleration we want in our practice often comes from a reflective process as opposed to one that's rushed. So thinking time, design time, stillness are not luxuries, they're force multipliers. When you slow down, you'll see patterns, and when you see patterns, you make better decisions. The paradox is that progress often comes from pause. And in the thought leaders model, the fastest way to move commercially forward is to actually think deliberately about the choices you're going to make. So slow down to go fast. And the fifth one for this newsletter that I sort of wanted to talk about is that it's all about you and it's not about you at all. It always begins with you, your story, your name, your voice, you're the brand. And early on, this is essential because the market needs to know who you are and what you stand for. And that differentiation in a practice is really personal. But for the work to create real impact, it can't stay about you. It must become about them, your audience, your clients, your community. And the most powerful personal brands are rarely self-focused. They might use visibility as a bridge to get to, a market. But in the journey of the thought leader, your pronouns evolve from talking about I through to you and ultimately into we. So as a closing thought, I reckon each paradox sits at the center of a mature practice. When you can hold both sides without collapsing into one, you move from balance to integration. And this is what it means if you were talking about the art of thought leadership. So it's being commercially conscious, so it's being commercially smart, and at the same time consciously led.